Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Kraus. But before we begin, if you guys can please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. So with that said, Cash, what are we reviewing this fine day?
Crazy to say it, but we are reviewing the final Daniel Craig James Bond film.
Fifth and final.
I'm sad.
Yeah, I'm sad too.
It's weird. It's like I can't even say it's like a holiday. It's almost it's almost 20 years in the making.
Yeah.
It had to have been fucking emotional for Daniel Craig that last day of shooting.
Well, I think just emotional for a lot of people too. I mean, you look at 2006, we would have been 11 or 12 years old.
That's what I'm kind of saying. It's kind of I've had like a melancholy feel about it almost. Where it's a happy depression. I would have to say I'm happy it's here. Because I fucking love James Bond. I love seeing these movies. But I am very sad that it's going to be years and years before we get a new James Bond. And
You really think?
yeah, it has to be. It's always a process.
What do you think? Like 5-6 years from now?
I'd say 3 to 4. Most
3 to 4?
likely, yeah. Before we get even an announcement, I would say it's going to be 3 years. Because they always go, unless they have the new James Bond already lined up, it's always a big process of like, they do auditions and shit for like 500 different people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they always try to find someone not that famous just coming up like they did with Daniel Craig. But fifth and final, it is No Time to Die, directed by Cary Joji Fukunaga.
Hey, isn't that the director
You gotta
from
bring it up
It?
every time. Actually, he was not the director from it.
He was supposed to be, yeah.
He was for about a week and a half.
Yeah.
Until they... which is so weird because they hired him. It's the opposite. They hired him late because remember the original director was fired 3 weeks before principal photography, and then they brought Joji on.
Wow.
Yeah, so he knows all about that.
Oh, he does. Of course he
He's
does.
been on the other end of that. But no, he did not insert a child gangbang scene in this like he's been trying to do for so long.
He's been trying. These Hollywood people, they're weird.
They are a little weird.
A little weird. These book writers and these screenplay
All that
writers.
book learning they're doing. They're a little goofy. But yeah, so he comes in, of course, and I'm a big Cary Joji Fukunaga fan because he directed the first season of True Detective.
Yes.
Just
great.
some of the best TV of all time.
Absolutely.
But yeah, again, like we said, reprising his role as James Bond is Daniel Craig. But I'd say they were pulling out all the stops for this one, Mason.
Oh, unquestionably. The budget for this was $250 to $301 million thus far in the box office, gaining a total of $447.8 million at the box office, which is really good, actually, considering the times that we're in to have almost $500 million already.
Yeah,
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it surpassed that Quantum of Solace budget.
Of course it did.
We think. We
Which,
don't know for sure. But
I don't know why that film had such a big budget. It doesn't make a lot
no
of
one
sense.
knows how much money was actually spent on that goddamn movie. It was a lot.
It was.
But yeah, it was definitely weird and kind of sad sitting in the theater knowing that this will be the last one. And also kind of weird to hear Billie Eilish sing that.
I got to be honest with you.
It's the weird mix of this really new, because if you don't know, the James Bonds, they always get like the newest, hottest pop star or musician to sing. 2006, they got Jack White, White Stripes. He was all over the place.
They had Adele for Skyfall.
Which Adele's on top of the world. What was that, 2012?
Yeah, yes it was. Yeah.
She was fucking everywhere. So they always have the hottest and the greatest. So this year, you have to get, who do you got to get? Who's
Billie
number
Eilish.
one? Beanie Eyelash.
Bum, 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 bum. Or however that song goes. I'm a bad guy, feeling like a bad person.
I don't think those are the words, but
I'm a bad person.
What do you think about her opening?
Okay, so I got to be honest with you. I listened to the first 20 seconds and I was like, I got to pee because I had to go see Lamb and this at the same day.
Right.
So I just saw Lamb.
It's a good time to pee because although
it's 3 minutes.
I always like to sit through at least in a complete, for all the James Bond, I like to sit there. And then I never watch them again.
I knew two things. One, as soon as I heard No Time to Die, that was probably the chorus. So I was like, cool, okay, go to the bathroom so I don't
Which was
miss.
a pretty good chorus. I did like that.
And the James Bond, you never want to miss the beginning. Why? Because there's always an epic chase scene. There's always an epic action scene. That is the worst time to miss the film, is the beginning of the film. I said, nope, I'd rather miss a song, because guess what? I can type in YouTube, Billie Eilish, and then look at the
Eyelash. Well, what's great is, well, I don't know if it's great, but it's kind of odd, is she had already won the, the Golden Globe for Best Song.
And the movie hadn't even came out.
Hadn't came out yet. No. First time ever that someone's ever done that.
Strange.
So I have a feeling you'll probably be hearing this song again, because most likely I think she'll be up there for the Oscar.
For the Oscar?
Yeah. Well,
really?
Yeah, I mean, usually the Golden Globe is kind of a predecessor to that. I mean, well, I don't know. I haven't heard any other original song this year that I'm like, fuck, that thing's banging.
Yeah, that's true. And it's a good song. I like the song, actually. But
and she wrote it. I'm pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, she wrote it.
She did actually write the fucking song, which I thought for sure she'd get someone in there to do like a ghostwriting job or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about what's going on in this goddamn James Bond.
There's a lot going on.
Oh my God.
There's a lot going on.
And I have to say, I mean, slap or pat ourselves on the back. I am so fucking happy that we watched the other ones for this, because I was right there with everything going on.
So was I.
I know this guy. I know that guy. I know what's going on. If I had not rewatched, because there's so many films, and the Spectre and all this shit, moving parts.
I would have been lost.
I'd be like, what
Seriously.
the fuck? And even the main Madeline, I mean, like, who's she again?
Yeah,
her dad,
forget.
Mr.
Madeline,
White?
Mr. White. Wasn't that the guy who kept getting shot every film? What's going on?
Every film. But honestly, I get that it's unrealistic to ask everyone, but it is the way to do it. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say that about every series. I don't think you need to go back and watch every film.
But Bond is very intricate. There are a lot of moving pieces,
yeah.
Especially with Spectre and all of this terrorist organization. There's a lot of moving parts. So I think it's the best thing possible to go and watch the 4 before you watch the 5.
I think so too.
And not only that, but Daniel Craig deserves it. These people who
That's what I said.
put their lives on the line deserve for you to go through all those films and rewatch them.
And there's so much fun too. All those films, you can get something out of each one.
That's the thing.
They're not all perfect.
I had so much fun reviewing them with you. Like just sitting, we watched 2 or 3 a week, or 2 a week, and it was so nice to just sit there every week and be like, cool, next James Bond film. Like, it's great, man. I love it.
Yeah, and they don't always like cut the corners to where like, I mean, some of these things you do need to know. I mean, you can't really just like, you have to at least see them all once. You cannot, these are films where you could not just jump in to No Time to Die and not have seen any of the other ones.
No,
You'd
you
be
cannot.
so fucking lost. You have to at least, I don't know if you need to see them all like the week before, but you need to see them all at least once.
And see, that's where James Bond in a film like Mission Impossible are completely different. Like, I really feel like you could have went to the last Mission Impossible and been like, oh, this was a good film. I get it. You know, he's a spy, yada, yada, yada. But with James Bond, you got to know the whole story.
For sure.
Especially with each Bond, because, again, so many moving parts.
You don't need to go back and watch all 30 films, but you should go back and watch the films of the series.
Correct.
You know, of Daniel Craig's for sure. But I got to give it to old Joji on this one. Director-wise, I felt he kind of brought back the slapstick, almost funny one-liners in this one, to where these other James Bond films, the 4 before this, were very Dark Knight-esque. We're going to keep this very serious. Right. There's some one-liners in this.
There are some one-liners,
but I didn't mind. Because it's very James Bond-esque. Well, there wasn't too much where it's like, this is getting campy and cheesy. And they brought gadgets back. A lot more gadget use in this one.
Well, even with the car, too.
The car, the watch, which I was making fun of in the last one, how silly it was. But they brought back a more realistic version of it. So
they did. And, too, something that we've seen, a trope in the James Bond films over the course of 25 films, really say 24, is, James Bond, he's slick, he's cool, he gets the girls. He says one thing, James Bond, and their panties drop, right? But this one, I loved it, because they brought in Ana de Armas, right?
Yes. And she killed it.
Very short role.
Oh my God.
Absolutely phenomenal in every aspect.
I thought for sure, I'm like, what's she going to be? Just like the eye candy or something,
Yes,
something stupid.
that's what I
But we
thought
know
too.
she's a great actress. But I thought she killed it. I thought for sure she'd be like, she's going to end up betraying her or having a bigger role. I love that little bit.
That's the thing I want to talk about, though, because, again, that's obviously what the audience thought. That's what I thought. When I saw Ana de Armas, I was like, oh, wow, beautifully, just stunning, right?
Oh
Obviously, this is going to be the girl that Bond, sleeps with and this and that, and that'll be it, right?
Yes.
No, she was a fucking badass. She kicked so much ass. And James thought she was hitting on him. And she was like, oh, no, I just need you to put this on. And it was finally that thing. And I sometimes I don't like that when they, put it in your face, but like that I really enjoyed because I thought that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was the first time in 25 films that Bond was really ever turned down.
Yeah.
Because it's the trope of James Bond. Or James Bond, and it's like every girl sleeps with him. Well, and it was totally different in this one. And
I can't put my thumb on it, but that's kind of how it felt like the entire film was like he's no longer James Bond. He was like slow. He's not this smooth talking. He's he's not over serious either. I mean, he's kind of playing it loose by this time.
Yeah.
And but I appreciate it. Again, I was shocked to hear like the one-liners and whatnot but these 4 films before have been so serious. But in this one, I felt like it was a perfect combination. And they brought back the henchman with the deformity, which you gotta have in all the James Bond films. Remember this guy? He's got the robot eye. Mm-hmm. and when
Blofeld's actually running the whole Spectre under that eye.
Yes, but at one point, the eye pops out in James Bond, Daniel Craig, he goes, wow, that was a real eye-opening experience.
Yes. Or how about...
I was shocked to hear it the first time. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they actually did that.
Yeah.
Because, again, these ones have been like the Dark Knight-esque, where it's no longer Batman's no longer campy. He's very serious, very brooding, because that's more realistic.
How about the watch?
Yeah.
When he shows him or he does the thing and it blows up, the eye blows up in his head and he goes, oh yeah, I just showed him, hey Q, I just showed him your watch. It was mind-blowing.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had never seen a James Bond film before, you'd be like, why is he saying shit like that?
Yeah, this is dumb.
But those other James Bond films before these ones were so fucking campy and silly that I like that they're giving, for the very last one, they're like, let's just do it.
Well, and I also think it works because, unlike the first 4 films, this is the one film where James Bond is retired.
Right.
It's though the circumstances obviously are dire and very serious with millions of people dying because of nanobot technology that can kill you based on your DNA. That's pretty serious. But they did a very good job of balancing the humor with the seriousness of the situation.
And there's not a lot of the humor, but it's just those one-liners that James Bond in the old ones is just known to do. Yeah. It's just known, the quips and whatnot. Even Felix, Jeffrey Wright, has a one-liner. When he gets shot, he goes, I got a gut feeling that Ash...
Which, dude, I was so sad when Felix died.
Me too, man. It had been a 12-year gap since we got Felix last.
Yeah, the last one was Quantum of Solace.
And they had not put him back, but... which he's a great character.
Didn't bring back David, though.
No.
Harborough.
Oh, no. Of course he's a piece of shit.
I know.
But the CIA is always bad.
Always.
I thought for sure he was going to do a joke like, you didn't bring another, traitor or something this time, like James Bond was going to say. Because the guy ended up betraying him again.
Oh, yes.
Because David Harbour, man, he was an asshole, too, in the other one. But, yeah, Felix, he's a great character. And with this one, Jeffrey Wright has played that character more than any other actor in any of the other ones.
Really?
Because Felix is a character in the other James Bond as well. But yeah, I was really hoping we'd get some kind of Felix spinoff CIA-esque
show
at
or
least
movie.
At least see him get in a fight. He never fights.
No, I think Jeffrey Wright's like, look, I'm an actor. I don't want to fight. I'm a little older now.
Scenes,
I'm good. I'm gonna pass on that.
But yeah, I thought his death though was very spoiler. It was very sad and well done as well. Well shot. The boat scene was very fucking intense. But that scene of when he goes to meet Blofeld again, And he's like, my brother. He's like, I was your brother. He's like, no, my brother was like Felix or something like that. He's like, that's my brother. It was fucking brutal. Because that literally is the only one James Bond can trust.
Literally. Yeah.
He's the only one that has not betrayed him yet.
That like working for Felix says a lot about James Bond because, I mean, that's the CIA and he was helping.
That was cool. And this one is James Bond for the first time in a series ever works for the CIA over MI6. Mm-hmm. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, and then M was not too happy about that. He finally reinstates him, and that's another thing too. With the we go back to kind of the light touches of humor in this film between 007 and James Bond, right? Because obviously there's a new 007,
right? And
they go back and forth about it just being a number and not being a big deal. And it was kind of nice to see 007 reinstate James Bond as 007. I mean, it didn't last long, and she gets it right back, but it was cool. It was cool.
It was cool. I was really hoping they were going to say, like, she was a 006 or something, because there is 006 in the James Bond series, but I think he's always a bad guy.
Oh, yeah, so probably don't give her that one.
Yeah, but you're right. I did enjoy that. I wish they had done a little more with 007, but I get that it's like, this is Daniel Craig's film. He's the guy. Let's not try to. And of course, I'd also be complaining probably that they are setting up her too much. So I think it was a good balance. But I was really hoping she was going to get one scene to where she kicks ass.
That I was actually surprised that we didn't get that, because I figured with whatever the passing of the torch with the 007 name or moniker, but like, I really thought that they were going to fight together at some point and make jokes in between,
or fight each other at one point, or just like introduce her in a way to where it's like she's doing some other side mission, but you introduce her and she's kicking ass or something. Right. We never got that. We did get a lot of introduction and like the way that she is a spy. She's a badass, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, she's 007, so you got to be the best of the best.
You have to be the best of the best.
But no scene at all where she's just kicking ass. I wish we had got something.
When you had time for it. I mean, the film was 2 hours and 45 minutes, but it flew by.
It flew by, and I felt like even though the movie was that long, they did not have enough time to establish that relationship between 007 and James Bond enough.
Oh, no, I agree with that, yeah.
But you just could not fit it in, especially when you got a shoehorn Rami Malek in there.
Should we talk about Rami Malek here a little bit? I liked his character quite a bit.
I thought he did
a little tortured. I'd say Safin.
Of course,
Safin is his name. I'd say a little tortured soul.
I thought he did a really good job. I'm hit and miss with Rami Malek. I do think he's a great actor. I love that he's bringing back the possibility of hiring weird looking people as actors again, instead of just these beautiful models, because he is very eccentric looking. He's not
he is
run-of-the-mill good looking. He's got a character actor-esque look to him for sure. But I liked his character a lot. I thought he was scary. The thing I was kind of surprised is they did not end up really linking the Spectre thing altogether. This one, surprisingly, again, we're getting into stuff. They kill off every Spectre at the start.
But I actually kind of like that, though, because
they moved away from that quick.
Yeah, they did move away from it, but I kind of liked it because obviously Blofeld is running, quote unquote, Spectre through prison, through his henchman's eye, right? But what happens is they switch the nanobot technology and the DNA sequencing because they think they're going to kill Bond with that mist. Right? And they think Spectre and everyone's going to kill Bond because the mist's going to come down and eat his face away. But the scientist, on Safin's orders, actually orders him to switch to DNA sequencing to kill everyone who's in Spectre.
Yes.
So I kind of like that because it was like this new, it's like a gangsters, right?
Right.
When the leader's in prison, you come in, you whatever, kill a few of them, and then you become the leader. So
that's what it showed. It showed that since Boyfriend was captured, it wasn't all for nothing. There was instability in the organization.
Right.
Is once he was captured.
Exactly.
So it was like the opportunity for anyone to come up and take it.
And he killed all the people loyal to
Blofeld. I love that scene. It felt very Cary Fukunaga, kind of weird, of those three bald guys carrying the eyeball around.
Mm-hmm.
And it being very odd and kind of almost like fantasy-esque, mystical kind of. And it was very weird because you could hear Blofeld talking through the eye, and it's just him talking gibberish. Because at this point, they think he's gone insane. Because every time they see him in his cell, which is like a 3x3 concrete cell,
and of course all glass, basically
super Hannibal-esque. But every time they see him, he's just speaking gibberish. They think he's gone mad. But it's all, I mean, he's talking, but he's talking about the plan and everything the whole time. But I love that scene of him walking through and just speaking gibberish, but everyone acting like he's still there, you know, and not knowing how he was doing that through his prison also, which they never found out, I don't think.
No.
Of how he was communicating out there. But yeah, I like that a lot. But again,
and it was also really clever too, because that was not his only plan either. He also had, you know, the whole Madeline situation, her passing on through James Bond the nanobots to kill Blofeld. Mm-hmm. So I really like that too, because it was like this Safin character, this Rami Malek character was very smart. And it very well thought out, very well planned. You know, killed off anyone loyal to Blofeld, and then killed off Blofeld himself through James Bond. Yeah. You know, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
I just thought it was all definitely going to end with Spectre, you know, because you don't even know the name of Spectre until Skyfall.
Yes.
Right,
yeah,
because it was
Quantum.
Quantum first. That was the name, but the Quantum was just a smaller branch of Spectre, and then the big one is Spectre. Just to realize that there's even bigger fucking, and they kind of do play with the idea of like, I think at one point they say like, there's always going to be these bad guys, you know, like you just never know who it is. There's always going to be someone trying to take over the world or whatever, whether it be Spectre or Rami, there's always going to be one person because they need him, because they need to keep making James Bond films. So there's always got to be a bad guy out there. But yeah, I thought it was going to end with Spectre, but I also did enjoy the surprise of like first act killing everyone off Inspector in a pretty good way too. Their face starts to melt.
Face melting? I'd say that's pretty fucking metal.
And anything with nanobots takes me right back to early 2000s.
Of
when
course.
every
Everyone
spy
was
movie
using nanobots. Everyone.
I always remember the movie Tuxedo with Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan and the nanobots.
The nanobots were like, they like absorb moisture or something.
I must have watched that film 20 fucking times.
I watch it because it has, what's the chick's name in it? Fuck, you know, I'm gonna. But that's the main reason I watched it. It's because I can't believe I can't remember her name, but it's a James Bond-esque movie, Tuxedo. If you haven't seen it, it's not good.
It's fun. As a kid, dude, I loved it. Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh my god, yeah, she's got Jennifer Love Hewitt.
And it has Jason Isaacs in it.
Yeah, yeah, like a cameo role. Jason Isaacs. He's
Peter Stormare.
Yeah,
he's a great actor.
You don't gotta sell me on Tuxedo, man. I'm
hey,
fully
you know what?
on
We
board.
should review it. The 2002 American science fiction action comedy Tuxedo.
But that's what I loved about this James Bond is because it felt like it was combining a little bit of every generation of James Bond into this one film. Yeah. Like the nanobots, that was a big thing with Pierce Bronson. Remember, he was always battling nanobots or something. You know.
Now, obviously, I have not, and I've said this multiple times, I've not seen every single James Bond film, but I have heard and read a lot of things where everyone's saying by far this, and I would have to agree for what I've seen, this is the best send-off a James Bond has ever gotten as far as a great final film.
I don't think they ever kill him. They should.
No, they don't.
They should. They should definitely.
And let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because I think watching all four of these and then going and watching the fifth and then just knowing this whole time that it was Daniel Craig's last time, they did a really good job because I'm just being honest here, I was trying not to get emotional.
Right.
I got a little like,
well, it was,
wow.
It was so weird because like I'm still thinking up to the end he's going to get out of that. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, but of course, how the fuck he's going to get off this island? You got every missile in the state or in the world, but.
And I loved, it made so much sense. And that's what I appreciate so much in the script writing. I understood the conflict within James Bond so much, and I related to it as a person where, you know, Rami Malek's character, Safin, injects him, or not injects him, but scratches him and puts nanobots in his skin so that if he ever sees Madeline or his daughter, ever makes contact with them, he kills him. That made so much sense to me, and it was tragic. Yeah. It was super tragic because you realize, there's nothing left to live for James Bond. That's why he made the ultimate sacrifice. It's not that he was not capable of getting off the island. It's not that he still wasn't the same James Bond that he's always been.
His life wasn't worth living had he gotten off the island. Yeah,
yes. That's what I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's the opposite of James Bond because he's only ever looked out for himself, most of the time.
Yes.
I mean, even at the very start of this one, it's sad because him and Madeline are together and whatnot, and then he thinks she betrayed him because of his past, because we've all have seen this man get betrayed so many times that by this point, in any other circumstance, you'd be like, don't be an idiot, just talk to her, listen to her and see what she has to say. But at this point, he has been betrayed by so many people, especially Vesper, who, is still part of these films.
It's crazy. And Blofeld set that whole thing up too. Remember him admitting that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah, absolutely. That was, which of course you knew that she had not done it. I mean, why would she still be in the hotel room? She thought he'd done, but
she wouldn't have if she had been responsible. Didn't think that one through very well.
I know. He's James Bond. He's gonna fucking come and get you for sure. But yeah, I really like them setting that up because he could have had that life that he wanted so bad at the very end because it was 5 years had passed.
Yeah.
Since he put Madeline on the train.
When he literally had a 5-year-old daughter, too.
I know, which he did not do the math when he's like, that's not my kid, right?
That's not my kid. There's no way, right?
Bluest eyes you've ever seen.
Come on, Daniel. Come on.
Which is crazy how fucking blue Daniel Craig's eyes are. It's fucking wild, dude. Oh, my God. I'm like swimming in an ocean. Those eyes.
It is, those eyes. They call those ocean eyes.
They do, man. But yeah, I thought that was, like you said, heartbreaking to where it's like, yeah, he could have got off that island.
Could have, yeah.
And had he been James Bond 20 years ago, he would have. And being like, fuck, I don't need a kid or a daughter. Yeah. At this point, he has gone through so much. He knows that life isn't worth living. Had he been living. And we also got a little bit of that scene when Felix is dying, when they're like, greatest life in the world, right? And they're both like, fuck yeah, like, this is the greatest life. Even though no one ever lives past 50.
They still love
it. You burn hot.
You burn hot and die young.
Twice as fast, baby. But yeah, man, it's not my favorite James Bonds of the series. Okay,
so that's what I want to talk about because I have my ranking.
Yes.
I'd like to hear your ranking and I actually have a feeling that we're going to be exact
I think we will be.
I think we'll be exact same.
For sure.
But
do you want me to go first or to last or last to first?
Let's go last to first.
Okay, so least favorite.
We were both on the same page. I'm just going to say Quantum of Solace, right?
Which Quantum of Solace, not a horrible movie.
No, it's not.
It's just not a great James Bond movie of these films.
Right.
Quantum of Solace.
I go Spectre next.
Yep, has to be Spectre.
Now
3 and 2 is where you get a little difficult for me.
This is really tough, personally, but I'm actually going to go with No Time to Die.
At number 3, No Time to Die. I think I have to agree.
And it's
so Casino Royale, No Time to Die are really close for me.
Oh, really? Okay, so we're different on 1 and 2.
So you think? Okay, yes. So that's interesting.
Yes, my favorite James Bond out of all of them, especially after rewatching them. Casino Royale is my number 1. Skyfall is my number 2.
Okay, see, yes. I would say Skyfall is my number 1, Casino Royale my number 2.
That's the only place where we're different.
I think so. Yeah.
And I hate.
But those
three,
those top 3 are really neck and neck for me.
And that's the thing. And I don't want to make it feel like this is a middle of a pack movie, that we didn't find it great. This was a phenomenal send-off for Daniel Craig. It is a great film. And as you just said, those top 3 are so close.
Yeah.
So close that, like, No Time to Die, if someone had No Time to Die as their favorite James Bond, I wouldn't be like, you're an idiot.
No, I wouldn't doubt it at all, yeah.
It would make sense to me, the same way that I have Casino Royale, you have Skyfall. All 3 of those films are so close, but they're really good.
You just got to pick your preference with those top 3 of like what kind of movie you like the best. Mm-hmm. If you like a a almost classic James Bond in a casino, you know, playing
That's what I like.
Playing poker for terrorist money.
And you got Mads Mikkelsen, dude. I love it.
But with me, I really like the strong villains. I really liked Javier Bardem as that just the most different Bond villain you've seen, you know,
he takes out his jaw.
Pansexual, very odd, kind of a monster of a man inside and out. But yeah, man, but this film though, I think it is the perfect send-off. It doesn't mean it's the best movie, but I don't see really how you could have done a better job of sending off Daniel Craig. It's the way to go. I was really scared they were going to do it to where he just ends up being okay and, you know, sailing off into the sunset. I was worried about that, and I'm glad they ended up going the route that they did.
Now let's do this. One more top 5. Okay. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
James Bond villains, not film based, but your top 5 for this series
of the Daniel Craig
again.
ones.
Obviously, the greenie from Quantum Solace will be 5 for me, the weenie boy.
Well, but that's tough because Ernest Bloofeld, he's a good villain,
exactly. Yes,
but he's just not in a very good movie. That's the problem. So I would have to go. And also, are we doing Henchman as well? Because the fucking guy from Quantum Solace, the General Rapey.
General Raper? Yeah, that guy? God.
He was really bad.
Yeah, he was
also
awful.
The guy with... That movie just has so many bad villains.
It does.
The guy with the bowl cut as well.
Stupid.
I would say... We didn't talk about it as much, but Rami Malek did a really good job.
Yes, he
this.
did.
I love the limp. I love the backstory. That fucking... The Poison Island was an awesome layer to have. I would have to say Green is number 5.
Yep.
Number 4. Fuck, what is number 4,
It's tough. It's really tough. That's why I'm asking.
Of the main guys.
I hate to say this, but I'd probably have to go Blofeld. Well, actually, yeah, I'd have to go Blofeld. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'd
so.
have to go Blofeld. And then after that, so now we have Javier Bardem and Mads. And then Malek.
Rami Malek, yeah.
So I would probably
Again,
go,
those are really tight for me.
yeah, I know. Maybe this sucks too. Maybe this sucks to ask because it's tough. Like I love Mads, but we didn't get.
Because with villains, it really depends how much time you get with them, you know, and you got to have that perfect balance. You don't want too much time with them because you don't need that much backstory. You just need to know why they're bad.
I think Javier Bardem was the best villain, though.
He has the best backstory.
2 and 3. Yeah.
I think it's Javier Bardem number 1, Mads number 2,
yeah, and then
Rami Malek number 3, and you got to go Blofeld number 4.
So we just basically had the exact same lineup there.
Well, it just happens to be the better villain. It makes for the better movie.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. But yeah, and I think Blofeld too, you know, small part, but he got a good send-off as well.
Yep.
To where we finally saw James Bond. Like I said, a different James Bond this one. You know, he's not gutter James Bond like he was in Skyfall, to where it's just very hanging on.
Can't hit a target, can't pass any of his
In
training.
this one, he's kind of just doesn't give a fuck anymore. But he loses his control and snaps and almost kills Blofeld. Well, he does kill him.
But unintentionally that time.
But he does give him the old the strangle job for sure. But yeah, I'm happy, man. It was a satisfying end. I was really worried it wasn't going to be, but it didn't show anything so crazy to where like they've never done it in a James Bond film before. But it was good. It was good to go.
Yep. I really did enjoy it. And, you know, shout out to Daniel Craig for doing 5 films, being at the age that he is, putting all that time in, the broken bones, the injuries, everything that all the cast and crew went through over those 5 years, and the people who lost their lives. Like,
yeah.
It does mean a lot.
It's crazy to talk about the people that have lost their life. But watching this film, especially the scenes where he's getting chased through the forest and stuff, when those cars are flipping, those are when people are dying. Mm-hmm. When you see those cars flip, because someone has to be driving that car.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
Most times, yeah.
Almost always, yeah. That's what stuntmen do.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's not a
world.
robot car. They just don't do it yet. I mean, I feel like the technology could be
It's
there.
there. Yeah, I mean, we have self-driving cars with Teslas. You figure it's pretty close to being there,
But there's nothing beats throwing a man in there.
I suppose not.
I've given them a helmet and saying, "Hey, fucking hit it, brother. Send it."
Send it.
But there's only one guy. My last piece of trivia before we go is there's been one guy who's worked on every single James Bond film. Every single one. 50 years since the very beginning.
Wow.
He was a trumpeter. He worked on the score of every single James Bond film, and he died before he got the chance to work on this one.
That is terrible.
Yeah,
why would you end this on such a sad note?
Isn't that why there's only one guy in history who's worked on every single James Bond film?
That's crazy.
50 years.
Wow.
Yeah. You got to be thinking at that point, they probably brought him in. He did like one Trump. All right, get out of here.
We're good. We're going to add that somewhere in the music.
You'll hear it.
Yeah. You'll hear that trumpet blow.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of sad. One fucking guy who didn't get to see it till the very end.
Yeah, that sucks.
What
can you do?
What can you do? I hope they at least put a track of his in there at least to like give him the credit. Trust me, it's nothing like a one trumpet solo or anything. It's like you would never be able to hear his trumpet.
No, definitely not. No, it's like an orchestrated bunch of other music.
He's probably
as
one
well.
of 50 trumpeters that works on the fucking soundtrack. But
that is crazy, though, nonetheless. 50 years doing James Bond.
50 years, man.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, anything else?
It's
all right.
sad, I know.
It is sad, but a very fitting ending to the James Bond and to Daniel Craig. And we thank everyone who's worked on these films. I mean, it obviously takes a lot out of a lot of people, a lot of hard work, and we recognize that and appreciate it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, these films, for any movie to be made, is extremely fucking difficult for a movie to get greenlit. But for a movie of this scope, too, and, you know, I can also say what series has done as well. I mean, with keeping up the quality as James Bond.
After 25 films.
So the Mission Impossible films are good, but the latter films are the best films. Mm-hmm. Like those early ones, actually. They're good, but they're not the best. But these ones...
Yeah, there's only, 6 or 7 Mission Impossibles? I think the 7th is coming out soon.
But these, even just the Daniel Craig ones, man, they've kept their quality throughout.
For sure.
I mean, we talk about Quantum of Solace as the black sheep, but even Quantum of Solace is a more than decent spy film. Yeah, for sure. But that's all I got.
Alrighty. Well, that is our review for No Time to Die, the last Daniel Craig James Bond film. If you guys like what you've seen here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.